What if I told you the biggest enemy you'll ever face is staring back at you in the mirror? Not the world, not the haters, just you and the voice inside your head that keeps holding you back. This is not just motivation, it's a battle. And the moment you realize it's you versus you, everything changes. But will you survive the truth? Or will it break you? Stay with me and find out who wins the war within. You wake up in a room that does not feel like your own. The ceiling fan spins slowly, creaking with each rotation. The air is cold, too cold, and your breath fogs up in front of you. You try to remember how you got here, but your memory is foggy, distant. A flickering light from the hallway casts long, dancing shadows on the wall. Your heart starts to race, not from fear of something outside, but from the fear that something inside you is not right. You walk to the mirror, and what you see shakes you. Your eyes are sunken. Your face looks tired, worn, unfamiliar. It is not age. It is something deeper. It is the weight of decisions, the weight of excuses, the battles you lost, not to the world, but to yourself. You stare into the reflection, and the reflection stares back, silent but accusing, because it knows. It knows the times you said tomorrow, the times you chose comfort over courage, the times you walked away, when you should have stood up. You realize the enemy was never out there. It was always inside. The voice that told you to quit. The voice that whispered you were not enough. The voice that made failure feel safer than trying. You clutch the edge of the sink, knuckles white. Your breath is shallow, panic rising, because now you see the truth. It was never about proving others wrong. It was about proving yourself right. Your knees tremble. You sink to the cold tile floor. Tears fill your eyes, not from weakness, but from awakening. The silence in the room feels deafening. Your heart beats loud in your chest, like a war drum. You are not broken. You are unfinished. And this war, it is not over. There are no crowds cheering, no spotlight shining, just you, and that reflection, and the question that echoes through your bones. Who will you be when no one is watching? When the pressure is crushing? When the excuses feel justified? When you have every reason to stop? Will you rise? Or will you fade? This is the moment. Not yesterday. Not tomorrow. Right here. Right now. It is you versus you. And in this silence, filled with shame and strength, you realize the truth. You realize the truth. This battle was never meant to be easy. It was never meant to be clean, or painless, or kind. Growth does not come with comfort. Strength does not rise from stillness. You sit there on the cold floor, heart pounding, and the mirror still watching you like a witness to your confessions. The truth seeps into your skin like ice water. You remember the days you wanted more, but settled for less. You remember the nights you stayed awake, dreaming of a version of yourself that was braver, louder, sharper. But dreams without action are just lies you tell yourself to feel safe. You feel it now. The pull, the pressure, the gravity of your own potential pressing down on your chest. It hurts. It burns. But it is real. And for the first time in a long time, you do not look away from the pain. You do not run. You sit with it. You let it scream in your ears. Let it echo inside your ribcage. Because you know this is the cost of transformation. Every great warrior begins as a broken version of who they were meant to be. Every phoenix rises from ashes, not from glory. You feel your fingers tremble, not from weakness, but from the shedding of your old skin. The false identities, the excuses you wore like armor, the lies you told yourself just to make it through the day. You remember the voice in your head that said, "You are not ready." You remember how you believed it. You remember the feeling of watching others pass you by while you stood frozen, afraid to fail, afraid to start, afraid to feel small. But what you did not understand then, you begin to understand now. There is no enemy greater than the version of you that refuses to grow. There is no voice louder than the one you feed. And every time you chose fear, that voice grew stronger. But now, as you sit in silence, something else stirs inside you. It is not loud. It does not roar. It whispers. It says, "Get up." It says, "Fight back." It says, "You are not done." You rise slowly, legs unsteady, like a newborn learning to walk. The mirror still reflects your pain, but now there is something new in your eyes. Fire. You take a deep breath, and it tastes like dust and defiance. You look around the room, the peeling paint, the dim light, the shadows curling in the corners, and you realize none of it defines you. Not the place, not the past, not even the reflection. What defines you is what you do next. What defines you is the moment you decide to stop being a prisoner to your own limits. This is not about motivation. Motivation fades. This is about discipline, about decision, about the raw, brutal choice to become someone better, even when it hurts. You take one step, then another. The floor creaks beneath your weight, but you keep moving. You move not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. You no longer need permission to grow. You no longer seek validation. You are not in competition with anyone else. Not your friends, not your rivals, not strangers on a screen. The only person you must defeat is the person who refuses to change. The person who chose comfort over courage. The person who stayed quiet when they should have spoken. The person who hid their gifts because they feared judgment. That version of you must die so that a stronger one can live. You must bury your excuses, your self-doubt, your guilt. They are heavy, and you have carried them long enough. You walk out of the room and into the hallway. The walls stretch on, long and dark, but you are not afraid. The fear is still there, but it no longer holds the leash. You hold it now. You grip it with white knuckles and tell it to follow you. Because fear is not your master. It is your shadow. It follows, but it does not lead. You walk past closed doors, the doors of missed chances, broken promises, abandoned dreams. You do not stop. You nod to them, acknowledge them, but you keep walking, because regret will not be your legacy. You hear your heartbeat in your ears, steady now, like a drumbeat guiding your march. You whisper to yourself, I will not quit. You say it again louder, I will not quit. And with each step, that whisper becomes a roar. You remember the people who gave up on you, the ones who doubted you, the ones who called your ambition foolish. But most of all, you remember the times you gave up on yourself. That is the deepest betrayal, but it is also the one you can undo. Not with words, not with promises, but with action, with repetition, with daily, brutal effort. You will build a new you, brick by brick, with sweat, with sacrifice, with discipline. No one will see the pain behind your progress. They will see the results, not the war. But you will know. You will know what it cost. You will know how many times you had to pull yourself up off that cold floor. You will know that every scar was earned, not given. That every step forward was a battle won against the darkness inside. You reach a door at the end of the hallway. Your hand hesitates on the knob. Behind this door is the life you have not lived yet. The one you feared was out of reach. The one you told yourself you did not deserve. But now you know better. You do not need to be perfect to be powerful. You do not need to be fearless to be strong. You need to be willing. Willing to fail. Willing to bleed. Willing to rise again and again, even when no one believes in you. Especially when no one believes in you. You open the door slowly. Light floods in, warm and blinding. It stings your eyes, but you do not turn away. You step through, heart pounding, blood rushing, every nerve alive. This is what rebirth feels like. Not pretty, not peaceful, but real. You are not the same person who sat trembling in that dark room. You are not finished, but you are becoming. Every day, every moment, you will wake up and face the only true opponent that has ever mattered. The version of you that wants to stay safe. The version of you that wants to hide. But now, you have seen what lies beyond comfort. You have tasted the fire. And once you know what it feels like to fight for your life, nothing else satisfies. You are not here to survive. You are here to rise, to fight, to transform. Because in the end, no one else is coming. It has always been you versus you. And now that you know it, you cannot unknow it. You cannot go back to pretending. You cannot return to numbness, to laziness, to the soft lull of avoidance. Because something inside you has been torn wide open. And in that opening, a fire has started to burn. It is not loud, not explosive. It is steady, hot, dangerous. The kind of fire that melts metal. The kind that forges weapons. You step fully into the light now, no longer blinking, no longer shielding yourself. The world outside greets you with noise and chaos, but it does not shake you. Because this time, you have armor, not made of lies, not built on illusions, but forged from truth, discomfort, and your own broken past. You walk through the streets like a ghost reborn into muscle and motion. Every glance you meet, every noise that tries to distract, every whisper of doubt that lingers in the wind, they bounce off you now. Because you understand what you carry. You carry every second of pain you once thought was wasted, every lonely hour, every sleepless night, every defeat that pressed your face into the dirt. You carry them like weapons now. You remember the weight of your own shame, the shame of looking in the mirror and seeing a version of yourself that did not fight hard enough. That shame is gone, not because it disappeared, but because you used it. You used it as fuel, and fuel burns. You no longer fear the burn. You welcome it. You welcome the ache in your bones, the soreness in your back, the tremble in your legs after another hard step forward, because it means you are not standing still. You are moving. You are growing. You are becoming the kind of person who does not flinch when the world tries to break them. You begin to crave the test. You crave the friction. You crave the silence that forces you to listen to your own heartbeat and ask, am I proud of who I am today? No applause. No recognition. Just the work. The lonely, brutal, honest work of self-confrontation, of self-mastery, of building a mindset so strong that nothing can poison it. Not failure, not rejection, not fear. The world will try. The world will call you arrogant. It will mock your discipline. It will tempt you with distraction. It will throw comfort at your feet like a bribe. But you have already chosen your path. And it is not an easy one. Because the easy path is crowded. Everyone wants easy. Everyone wants fast. Everyone wants results without pain. But you are not everyone. You are not interested in cheap victories. You want something deeper. You want transformation. And that means sacrifice. It means getting up when your body says no. It means staying late when your mind says stop. It means choosing progress over pleasure. Every single time. You understand now that your potential is not some distant dream. It is a responsibility. It is something you owe to the version of you that suffered, the version of you that waited, that hesitated, that hoped someone would come and rescue you. But no one came. And now you know why. Because it was always your job. It was always you versus you. And that fight, it does not happen once. It happens every day. Every morning when the alarm goes off. Every night when the doubts creep in. Every moment you feel small, or unseen, or tired. That is when the fight begins. And you are a fighter now. Not because you are fearless, but because you keep swinging anyway. You have bled. You have broken. But you are still standing. Still choosing to rise. Still choosing to answer the mirror with action instead of excuses. The world may never understand your war. But it does not have to. Because you are not fighting for them. You are fighting for you. The real you. The version of you that lives beneath the fear, beneath the insecurity, beneath the story you were told about who you were allowed to become. That version has a voice now, and it speaks through every step you take forward, every habit you do not break, every rep, every book, every choice to delay gratification, every time you show up, every time you do the work, even when no one is clapping, especially when no one is clapping. You are not chasing applause. You are building a legacy that begins with discipline, a legacy that begins with one simple truth. You are the obstacle, and you are the answer. You are the excuse, and you are the reason. You are the weakness, and you are the strength. And once you take full ownership of that, you become unstoppable, because nothing outside of you can break what you have built inside. The pain does not scare you anymore. The setbacks do not shake you. You expect them. You prepare for them. Because now, every loss is a lesson. Every failure is a spark. Every setback is part of the foundation. You are building something bigger than wins. You are building endurance. And no one can take that from you. Not time. Not failure. Not even fear. You have faced yourself in your darkest form, and you did not run. You listened. You learned. You fought. And now you walk with that truth in your bones, no longer needing to scream, because your silence speaks louder than noise. You are here. You are ready. And the world has no idea what you are about to do, because you have become the one thing no one can stop. You have become the person who refuses to give up. You have become the person who gets back up every time. You have become the warrior who no longer waits for the storm to pass. You become the storm, because it was never them. It was always you versus you. So now, take a breath. Feel your chest rise. Feel your heart still pounding, not from fear, but from purpose. Look at where you began. Look at who you were. And now, look at who you are becoming. Not perfect, not finished, but becoming. Becoming relentless. Becoming focused. Becoming powerful, not because of what the world sees, but because of what you see when you look in the mirror. That reflection no longer haunts you. It stands with you. It is you. Every scar, every lesson, every moment of doubt, now etched into your story, not as wounds, but as proof. Proof that you refused to back down. Proof that you faced the storm inside. Proof that when it came down to the final round, you chose to fight. You chose to rise. Because this was never about the world. Never about winning their approval. Never about proving them wrong. This was about you. Proving to yourself that you are stronger than your fear. Stronger than your past. Stronger than the limits you once believed were permanent. This is your time. Your turn. Your voice. Your fire. Because in the end, the truth will never change. It is you versus you. And now you know who wins.